And what's wild about it, they don't seem to get the message. Like they don't seem
care.
to know it. Like
they don't care. Why do they care?
I would describe them as a cult that raises money.
They are.
As opposed to something that actively tries to get something done.
Well, it's a slush fund. The Democratic Party is a slush fund for what I call the WCCC, which is white collar campaign carnies. The consultant class, which is infinitely worse on the Democratic side and the Republican side. And these campaigns on the Democratic side, even when they know they're going to lose, they solely exist to pay the WCCC. So Kamala went through what? How many?
What is it? $1 billion?
Okay.
$1.5 billion.
Okay.
And
so I don't know.
Owing money.
Do people know that $500 million was spent on staffing for a campaign that was like 100 and something days? So I want people to understand. And by the way, I will tell you this from personal experience, a chunk of those people know they're going to lose. They don't even care one way or the other. They're in it for the job. And as long as they get paid, the charade continues. And that is what the Democratic Party is. The Democratic Party exists to fund its own people, its own leadership class, and to fund its friends in the WCCC. They don't care if they win. It doesn't matter to them. They're not going to get it because they know it. They just don't care. So that's why, to me, they need to go away, because there is no there there. At least with Republicans, they have a mission.
They do. It's grotesque, but they do. They have things that they want to accomplish. And that's the wild part, right? That is the point of political parties. Like, as I tell people, it's like, if there was a war, you would have Democratic side, Republican side fighting it out. That's the way it's set. And this kind of political parties are these low-level militaries. Well, all militaries are there to get stuff done. They have very specific objectives that they want to accomplish. Weirdly enough, they don't. Republicans do. And so it's like when they're pursuing their objectives, they are pursuing their objectives. We want to destroy Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. That's what we want to do. We don't like it. We don't need it. Many of the people who back us are rich. They don't care. So we want to get rid of it. We want to destroy the Department of Education. That's what we want to do. We don't care about it. We don't believe in the way the government operates. We do believe in the military. Like, those are very clear objectives that they pursue, relentlessly pursue. We don't want abortions. So we want to try to stack the court in a way where we can prevent the abortion thing. And by the way, they've been accomplishing those objectives.
Why? How come it's been so easy? And let's go back to how long they've been working on this. They've been working on this through 2 8-term Democratic presidential administrations that had supermajorities. And this agenda has been ongoing throughout all of it. All of it. So again, people, wake up. The Democrats and Republicans is a facade. It's a facade. It's political theater designed to keep us all just fighting, and it's a class war. Like, I don't, it's so obvious to me, which is why it's like I'm almost just sitting here and watching it with popcorn. And the longer it takes people to figure it out is sort of like the race against time.
But they haven't, like, I've seen some people who voted for Trump and they'd be like, but I thought he was going to do so-and-so. And it's like, why did you think that?
But good, now they woke up. But right, is that one more woken up person?
I don't know. I mean, because they're going to turn around and then vote in some other way, as if that vote is, meaning whether you vote Democrat or Republican, you're probably not going to get what you want. And the Princeton study that pointed
you're definitely, unless you're in the top 1%, 0.01%, you're not getting what you want. So
exactly. But the American public doesn't seem to see it. And I keep thinking to myself, where's the floor? Like, where's the bottom where they like, okay, this is, because from my point of view, it's mechanical. I agree with you on this, actually, that things fall until they get to a point where there's nowhere else to go. At which point people get enraged and they start moving. But that's a mechanical process. It's not like, people just wake up. People have creature comforts. There's a video game, there's an Xbox. They may have sex with somebody. They may go to, store with meaning there's always something for them to occupy themselves. And as Ted Rawl pointed out, which was depressing to hear, maybe they don't even think they deserve that stuff. So Social Security is an entitlement.
Mhm.
Medicare is an entitlement. It's something that the government is giving you, in which case they think, well, I don't want welfare. It's like, dude, your state, meaning you as a country, come together and can make a decision on what you want to provide because it's in the well-being of everybody to have it. But in their minds, well, that's somehow a given. You're giving me something. It's a giveaway. It's frustrating because
but that's years of brainwashing, gaslighting, and propaganda at work to create, like, we're like battered spouses in this country. You know what I mean? Like, we really we have no idea, like, that there's a better life out there, that we're entitled to something better. We clearly have very low self-esteem because we allow our employees to walk all over us and treat us like crap. So we've got some psych issues in this country. And I mean, everybody just collectively, not mental health issues, right? Like, we really don't believe that not only are we entitled to those things, but yes, we can afford them. And that's what's so frustrating, is that we have been beaten down and convinced over generations, first of all, that the economic situation is a pie. So if we give X amount of money to this, then there's not enough money for that, and that your tax dollars are what pay for things. No, not how it works. Tax dollars pay for nothing. When you pay taxes, that money goes into the ether. It goes poof, gone, like that, like deleting something on a calculator. It doesn't exist. And people need to understand these fundamental things. People think that it's our tax dollars. Please stop saying that. Please stop saying that. It's not. Our tax dollars do nothing federally. State, obviously they do. But, it's like, we need to understand we're entitled to stuff because we are a collective civilization that has decided to come together to have things. Those are the things. And it's very frustrating. And people do see it as like somehow they don't deserve it, because we've been told that unless you're working 100 hours a week, busting your ass at 3 jobs, you don't deserve to survive. And this is, again, consistent brainwashing. Like, AI should be coming in so that we don't have to work as much, right? Like that, people should be able to be lying in a hammock for more hours a day and still being comfortable to exist because of AI. Like, that's the thing. Yeah.
I don't think they realize that the entire point of technology is to make life easier. Like, I don't want a person with all the capabilities of a human being dropping French fries. I just don't, right? If there's a machine that can do it, let a machine do it. That's the whole point of the technology. Mm-hmm. But it's screwed up because the value of that gets ferreted up to the top 1%, and they just get rid of the worker. As opposed to, it's super frustrating, just in the way that our society is arranged. And I remember I was talking to somebody, and they were like, capitalism is going to lead to, this utopian thing. I was like, it is not. It's not even in our minds for it to do that. I am super interested what happens when cars become driverless, when trucks and truck drivers, taxis, Ubers, none of these people need to do their job because they have a machine that can effectively do it. You go to the checkout counter, it automatically takes your card. So again, you don't even need people working in that, maybe a security guard here or there. Like, all of these people lose their jobs. Then what? Like, yeah, you could say, okay, people can learn the code. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm so tired of hearing about that. That's so sad. Enough already with that.
Right. To your point, technology should be a liberation. Mm-hmm. But it's not that way, because it's usually owned by a 1% that uses it to maximize their cash to as much as possible, while we either lose that job or get marginalized in that job. Lutnick, the goofball that Donald Trump have running around talking about, Europe doesn't take our chickens, our big, beautiful cows. They don't take our cows. That guy, he points out, he says, well, we're going to have robots come back to the US and do the jobs. And it's like, so you believe that a company who, let's say in China, that can make 1,000, 2,000 t-shirts an hour, that you are going to grow a business in America, you're going to pay for the robots, pay for the factories, pay for all of that stuff. That way you don't have to pay an American worker, because what you know is that there is no way you can hit the price point that they're hitting there with the things that they're effectively doing. And so you decide somehow, magically, a robot is going to appear to do that job. Like some of this stuff is just so outlandish, right? But he's making that point, though. We need to get rid of American workers and some of these faculties because they earn too much in order for us to be competitive with the rest of the world. Or Americans would just have to pay higher wages. I mean, pay more for the same items that they maybe get abroad. It's amazing.
Yeah, this is also the same man, I believe, that said how his mother-in-law wouldn't notice if her Social Security check didn't come. Was that him? Was that the man that was sitting there
sounds like him.
and saying that only fraudsters call and complain about stuff like that? Like, and he's like, my mother-in-law wouldn't care. I'm like, yeah, neither would mine. She's friggin' loaded. She wouldn't even notice. You're right. There are a few of those people, but you know, how about the people that live on their Social Security? My
mom would notice.
Yeah.
Everybody who I know would notice.
It's same, right? Like that's just the most obtuse thing, but it really goes to show you how in a bubble these people are. And it's going to come to that. I'm telling you, I call it Mangione monetary theory. And I am telling you, the natives are getting restless. And the more of these people that they keep putting up on the screen, flapping their mouths as oblivious as possible while people are suffering and not getting health care and losing their homes and losing their look, man. I'm unarmed personally. I'm not armed. So, you know, I am of no threat to these people. But I got to tell you, the more I see people with nothing left to lose, because that's all it takes, right? Yeah. Everybody is just one step away from being like nothing left to lose. And when you're nothing left to lose and you're in a country that has more weapons than people, the fact that you don't anticipate mass violence is fascinating to me. Like that's always what fascinates me the most. And now again, they're pissing off the red people. See, if you're pissing off the blue people, it's not necessarily, you don't have to necessarily concern because the blue people can't even change their own tires. But are you pissing off the red people? The red people are going to kick your ass. Yeah. So this is where it's getting to now. And I'm here for it.